Hello everyone, I'm Annlanka JEYADHARSHINI and I'm going to present an explanation of the critical essay by John Dryden, an essay of dramatic poesy. Before going into the essay, I'll give you an introduction to John Dryden. John Dryden was an English poet, literary critic, translator and playwright. He was appointed England's first poet laureate in 1668. He dominated the literary life of Restoration England to such a point that the period has been come to be known as the Age of Dryden in literary circles. Romantic writer Sir Walter Scott called him Glorious John. He took his BA degree in 1654. His essay of dramatic poesy spurred Samuel Johnson to call him the father of English criticism, and he also declared that modern English prose begins here. His critical work was extensive, and he has treated various genres of epic, tragedy, comedy, and dramatic theory, the relative virtues of ancient and modern writers, as well as the nature of poetry and translation. An essay of dramatic poesy, was written as a debate on drama conducted by four speakers: Eugenius, Chrytis, Lycidius, and Neander. He wrote an essay of dramatic poesy in 1665 to 1666 during an outbreak of the plague in which London's theatres were again closed. It had earlier been closed during the Puritan rule. Four friends, Chrytis, Eugenius, Lycidius, and Neander, discuss the relative merits of English writing as compared to that of the ancients and the French. The friends are travelling on a barge down the river Thames, seeking a vantage point from which they can hear the battle safely. Indeed, it is the sound of cannon fire that initiates the discussion about the quality of English composition. Chrytis bemoans the fact that even in the event of victory, they will be punished in being subject to the reading and hearing of so many ill verses as he is sure will be made on the subject. The beginning of the narrative of an essay of dramatic poesy is as follows. A battle is going on between England and the Netherlands. Four gentlemen, namely Chrytis, Eugenius, Lycidius, and Neander, are travelling by boat to see the battle and start a discussion on modern literature. Chrytis opens the discussion by saying that none of his contemporaries can equal the standards and the rules set by ancient Greeks and Romans. Eugenius restrains him from wasting time on finding demerits. He asks him to find relative merit in Greeks and moderns. So let us see the views of Chrytis. Chrytis favors classical drama. He appreciates the view of Aristotle, who believed that drama is imitation of life. He holds that drama of the ancients is successful because it depicts life. He says that both classical and neoclassical favor rules and unities, that is, unities of time, place, and action. According to Chrytis, modern dramatists are shadows of Aeschylus, Sophocles, Seneca, and Terence. For example, Elizabethan dramatist Ben Jonson borrowed from classics and felt proud to call himself modern Horace. With this, he ends his conversation. Eugenius does not agree with the views of Chrytis. He favors modern dramatists. Instead of telling about the virtues of moderns, he criticizes the faults of classical playwrights. According to him, the classical drama is not divided into acts and also seems to lack originality. These tragedies are based on worn out myths which are already known to the audience, and their comedies are based on overused curiosity of stolen heiresses and miraculous restorations. They have no regard for poetic justice. Instead of punishing the wise and rewarding virtue, they often show prosperous wickedness and an unhappy devotion. The classical drama also seems to lack affection. The heroes of Homer were lovers of appetite and food, while the modern characters of French drama gave up everything like sleep, water, and food for the sake of love. Lycidius seems to favor French drama of the earlier 17th century. French drama, led by Pierre Corneille, strictly followed unities of time, place, and action. The French dramatists never mixed tragedy and comedy. They strictly adhered to the poetic justice. For this, they even altered the original situation. The French dramatists interweaved truth with fiction to make it interesting, bringing elements that lead to fate and borrow from history to reward the virtuous, which he was earlier deprived of. They prefer emotions over plots. Violent actions take place off stage and are told by messengers rather than showing them in real. Neander contradicts Lycidius' arguments favoring the superiority of French drama. He talks about the greatness of Elizabethans. For him, Elizabethans fulfill the drama's requirement, that is, imitation of life. French drama raises perfection but has no soul or emotions, as it primarily focuses on the plot. For Neander, tragic comedy is the best form of drama. He believes that subplots enrich the drama. The French drama has a single plot which lacks this vividness. According to him, deviation from set rules and unities gives diverse themes to drama. He rejects the argument that change of place and time diminishes dramatic credibility in drama. For him, human actions will seem more natural if they get enough time to develop. His arguments end with the familiar comparison. Shakespeare was the Homer or father of our dramatic poets. Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher's drama are rich in wit and have smoothness and polish in their language. He feels that if Ben Jonson is a genius for correctness, Shakespeare excels him in wit. He ends with a familiar comparison. Shakespeare was the Homer or father of our dramatic poets. Jonson was the Virgil, the pattern of elaborate writing. I admire him, but I love Shakespeare. Thus, for Neander, Elizabethans are superior because they have a variety of themes, emotions, deviations, wit. They do not adhere to rules as well. Thus, their drama is really an imitation of life. At the end of the discussion, there is an argument between Crites and Neander over rhyme in plays. Crites believed that blank verse, as the poetic form nearest to prose, is most suitable for drama. On the other hand, Neander defends rhyme, as he feels that it briefly and clearly explains everything. By this time, the boat on which they all are has reached its destination, and the discussion ends without any conclusion being made. With this, we come to the end of the explanation, and here I have mentioned the different websites that I have referred to for preparing this presentation. I thank you for your time and I hope that you find it useful. Bye everyone. Take care.